But we know since like so useless, we don't even have regular cooked chicken. So how are we gonna make it? We're gonna make our own. Okay, so first off, since we're working with raw chicken, we need to actually wash our hands. So when we first make the chicken, we're gonna need chicken. We're gonna need salt, pepper, olive oil. What did I do with this? We need some chicken broth. And then for the rest of the recipe, we're going to have some cheese, we're going to have some fajita seasoning, we're going to have some tortillas, and Old Paso red enchilada sauce. Okay, so first thing, we're going to need to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. And while we wait, we're going to place the chicken breast in a 9 by 13 inch pan, but since the only other one we have is glass, well, first off, we need to actually get the chicken out. So let's just cut it out real quick. I don't think I'm cutting it right. The next thing we're gonna do, throw this into the pan. If this is which, oh, there's a little paper on the bottom. So I'll go in the sink for now. Next thing we do, we season both sides with salt and pepper, drizzle with olive oil, and add some broth. So I need to wash my hands first again. I'm being a little more controlled this time. And now we can get into the salt. Quite a bit on the chicken. Season it generously. Also get some pepper on that baby. Flip it over. And I need to wash my hands again. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is that we need to drizzle this with some olive oil. Let's get some olive oil on it. Yeah, extra virgin. Make sure of that. Add some broth, which I forgot to grab out. We're gonna need a small amount. We're gonna need about a general small amount of broth. Just pour some into like a quarter cup. My hand is really shaky. We'll probably be good. And my phone turned off, so let's continue going through. And now the next thing we do, we need to cover this with aluminum foil. Go down. Watch out. I love you. You need to be careful. Okay. Parchment lined aluminum foil. Okay, so now, since we have everything in the pan, and the oven is preheated to 375, we're gonna toss this in for, let's say, about 20 minutes. You know, now that I think about it, I think I should rub some of the olive oil into the chicken. Okay. I'll need to rewash my hands now. I got some on my arm. Oh, the towel's on the floor after I whipped it at John. And there's Gabriel. What a good boy. And just to make sure you have that seasoning on, a little more salt on, a little more pepper, and now we're good to set it into the oven and let it bake for a good 20 minutes. So So we'll check at about 15 to make sure it's actually cooking. Okay, so while the chicken is cooking, we need to shred the cheese and get everything else ready. So let's open up this cheese. I forgot to mention you needed a cheese grater. Unless you already have shredded cheese, then you can just completely skip this part. But from the cheese, we're gonna need about 1.5 cups. So I'm not sure if this is gonna be a correct way of doing so. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna get shredding. There it goes, right onto the counter. Not in a bowl of some sort. Hey John, could you get a bowl?
Oh God.
Okay. Just as a thank you, I'm gonna feed my recorder some cheese. He's such a good boy. You know who else is a good boy? This one. And the other one, except I don't know where he is. The one that I said that I love. Okay, so while you record the dog, I'm just gonna continue shredding. You need to make sure you have 1.5 cups of cheese. So I think shredding 2 bricks, I think getting 2 bricks of cheese is kind of overkill. Oh yeah, you can have that too. So we're probably just going to throw one in the fridge. Okay. I'd say we could use just a little more, and that's it. Oh, I caught some cheese. Oh. Okay, next thing we need to do, we need to dice our cream cheese into about 1/2 inch. Not slivers, but rather cubes. So this is a pretty important step as it requires a lot of focus. And on the recipe it specifically says about 1/2 inch, but I'm just winging it. I'm sorry that this part is very boring, but it is a needed step. Okay, so next thing we need to do after the cream cheese has been put together, or actually cut apart, we need to get our 1 cup of cheese, put it into the bowl. Next time when you're working on this for shredding the cheese, use cold cheese instead of warm cheese and not warm cheese like us idiots. Also mix in the cream cheese. And I'm just gonna leave this out for the chickens. I'm gonna rinse it off for the chicken. We're also going to need to put the fajita seasoning mix in. And then all we need to do then is wait on the chicken. This fajita 6 is very brown and very nerve-wracking. I think that's what it's supposed to look like though. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. So I forgot, we need to put about quarter cup of enchilada sauce in the bottom. So we're gonna need to get our can opener. If I can find it. And right here it says a quarter cup. Do it over the sink. Let's be smart. Sis. Oh, would you look at that? It's still a quarter cup. Did you know? So now we spread this out at the bottom of the pan. And if you want a more even spread than just this, there are a couple ways you can do it. You can like move the pan around like this. And actually I was gonna say rubber spatula would also probably help, but at the same time I don't think it would. It's done. I think. So let's get out everything we need. Pull the chicken out safely. And that looks raw. Let's check the internal temperature first. Yep, I definitely did this wrong. Okay, this is definitely not going to reach 160, so back in the oven it goes. Making sure I get all the enchilada sauce into the pan. Okay, once we get the chicken out, this is going to be nice, thoroughly mixed with this spoon. Spoonless and okay. So gonna need to. Do we need the tortillas to be heated up? Uh-oh. We didn't get 6-inch tortillas. Turns out we got a really big piece of chicken, so long story short, it took a lot longer of a time to get our chicken together, but it's getting very close to 160. I think it's gonna stop at about 160, so hope that is, because this is a very big piece of chicken. I do not want to continue wasting time on this since our seasoning's already mixing in with the sour cream. Even though it's upside down, it is now 160 degrees. So we're done with this now. I'll have to clean that later, I think. But we'll give it a few minutes to cool off, and then my mom helped me with an important trick. Well, not important, but a quicker trick to shredding chicken. KitchenAid. Blend it around, and it'll get you some shredded chicken. Okay, so it turns out this can go in hot, so after waiting a few minutes, I'm just kidding, it was more like 30 seconds. flip that baby over so it looks nicer. Set the spatula down, put this down, and start mixing. Oh my god, it's actually working. Slightly, but it's gonna take a minute. So let's leave it like that as the steam. Also, it turns out we got a lot of chicken. That's a big problem. So we had to wait very long. But now since the chicken is cooked, it's getting shredded for us. This is really working. Okay, so now our chicken is ready. So I did one mistake with our pan. Don't follow the beginning of the video because make sure that you actually put the spray at the bottom of the pan before putting the sauce in. Because that was one mistake I should have done before. Cooking spray. I don't think it specifies, but I believe you can just use this. Oh, let's retry this. So let's do this over this. Okay, so that should get the spray good. Now we have the sauce. And for the sauce, I don't think you need to use the cup. You can just pour in as much as you think you need. Just like other coats, it's going over the whole pan. And if you have too much, you can just drain it out. But I think we have enough in here. Okay, so now we'll let that sit out and settle. And we need to get our chicken. So we'll need 1.5 cups of chicken, I believe is what I read. 1.5, correct? Oh, 2.5 cups, okay. That makes us a little more easy. Okay. I dropped a little. I'll pick it up. So now
I don't know if that is a little
This is actually 2.5 cups perfectly of chicken. This is gonna be really good. There's one nice thing about this is that the chicken is very moist right now. Just hope it does not get too dry. And now I only need about 1/2 cup. So surprisingly, for a big hunk of chicken like that, we do have leftovers, but not as much leftovers as I anticipated. So that's great. So if you want, you could take a nice spoonful. John. Drop more. Okay. Now, you blend everything together and mash it together with a spoon. If you could, please, sir, try to get the flour tortillas out. And cook your chicken first before you mix everything together, because this will be easier when the chicken's very hot and actually able to melt the stuff in here. Okay. We're gonna want an amount that will actually be able to go into the thing. But we also want it to fit in like everything too. Yeah, spoon slightly less than 1/2 cup filling into each tortilla. These are bigger than 6-inch. Roll up each tortilla tightly. Place the seam side down in the baking dish. Drizzle with remaining enchilada sauce. This is a really thin. I think I did it wrong. Oh, and I ripped the tortilla. We're doing some good work here. Okay, so that's one. Place it face side down in the pan. Okay. You good? Sorry, I got a bit of a stuffy nose right now. Stupid bug. Oh, that stupid bug made me need to wash my hands after this one now. Let's keep moving with this step. Thank you for the tortilla refill. It's well appreciated. Did you love the nice sound of that? Okay, as we finish up, as you can see, we already have our 9 beautifully folded up enchiladas in there. Here will be our 10th. Thank you, Christian. Okay, so now all 10 of these are filled. We need to get some more sauce on. Let's drizzle on sauce each one first. It's not going to be the most even spread, but we'll go over it multiple times because we have lots and lots of sauce.
I don't want to put too much.
Okay. Now with the leftover cheese that we had before, we're going to sprinkle that on the enchiladas.
Que bonita.
There we go. Now, since this is 375, well, actually, first we need to cover it with more aluminum foil. Let that cook for 15 minutes. What do you think? Should I make a 10?
No.
Okay. Let's not take that. Uh-oh. Was this turned off all the way?
Yeah, looks like you did.
Oops.
Now you have to wait for it to preheat, but that's okay.
While we're doing that, we can take care of dishes. Into the oven with this. And now I put it on a timer for 15 minutes. Shut up! Okay, I didn't mean... Gabriel, get out of the way! I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to be so rude. You're a good boy. You know what? We can let you up. I promise you, they're good pups. Okay, so now we have some time to wait. So let's re-clean our counter and get everything organized for when they first come out. The enchiladas with the tin foil on are done. So we're going to take off the tin foil and now see how it's doing. Ooh. That's very good. Okay, so now this goes back into the oven.
Oh no, and that's going to slide off onto the floor. That is not level. For some reason. The burner off. Pick it up.
There's a couple. Until the cheese browns, or we just throw this in for another 15 minutes. Wait, good boy. Ah. Stop licking my thigh, you weird dog. Okay, the enchiladas are done, hopefully. Alright, it's bubbling. Wow. Que delicioso.